Hello, and good to see you again on this week leading up to vacation for many, hopefully. It's so crazy that it's almost July, and if you aren't watching this live, I hope that you are on a boat somewhere, maybe eating a hot dog. This is Beyond the Fold, an opportunity for us to tell the story behind the story, to go a little bit deeper. I'm Lauren Eisenlohr, West Michigan Women's Marketing Director, and today I am so excited. I'm always excited, but this one I've got a little special connection to. I'm joined by Jordan Carson. She was our June-July 2015 cover star. So it's obviously been a minute since we've caught up. And you likely know Jordan as co-host of 8 West on WOOD TV. She's also the Live Local, Give Local director of WOTV for Women. And what you may not know about Jordan is that she is a huge advocate for eating disorder awareness and has produced an Emmy-nominated documentary called Dying to Be Thin, which we will, of course, talk a little bit more about. But first, hello, Jordan. Good to see you again.
Hello, it is so good to see you too. And you were so right. You said we have a long history. I have known you forever. And so this is just such a treat.
It really is. And I was saying earlier, I feel like we've always been connected because we went through the Face of Four together in 2009. And we competed against each other to be the next face of WOTV. Obviously, you won. You know, I feel like it was a cutthroat battle. I feel like I battled well. But
you were so good. We've talked about this because I said I kind of threw in the towel because I was like, it was so much fun getting to know everyone. But I was like, Lauren's winning. Like, you were just a natural and so great.
Well, thank you. I mean, you obviously as well. You were phenomenal. You totally deserve to win that. And it's taken you on this amazing journey of your career. You know, I obviously went into a different direction, got into radio, and now I'm here. So the fact that we still get to connect using the media is fantastic. It's really been an awesome road for both of us.
Yes, yeah. And it is so great to see you here. And, you know, throughout your entire journey, I have followed you and watched your family and everything that's been going on. So you're a delight.
Well, thank you. And same to you. It's been fun to see you in Brooklyn and you in Curtis and watch you grow up on the air. Grow up, I say, because I feel like we're all still growing up on the air.
So true.
So getting into that, you've now been in television for at least the past 12 years. And I know you did some work before 2009 as well. Is there any part of your job that you still feel like really challenges you?
Yeah, I think that if you're not being challenged with the job that you're doing, then you have to create challenges. You have to try to make sure that you're constantly learning. And I think as long as you're doing that and really creating, you know, good obstacles and good hurdles for yourself, I think that's how you grow in your industry. And so I think for me, you know, I started off doing the entertainment and doing the Oscars and the red carpet. And although that is so much fun and I loved every minute of that, I really started to, for me, feel that the impactful human interest stories is where I wanted to focus my attention on. And so as I started telling more of those stories, I went to my boss and I said, you know, I really feel like there's something we can do here, something really special. And we decided to call it Live Local, Give Local because I was able to talk about those companies and individuals who are doing amazing acts of kindness and giving back to other people in the community and just weren't being highlighted for it. And so I thought, you know, as much as we need news, it's really great to see the positive impact that people are having in our community as well. And I wanted to shine a light on those stories.
It's fantastic. And you and I both have a lot of pride for West Michigan. So those stories always hit close to home. So when it comes to interviewing, would you say your most interesting interview was with a celebrity, or do you find a lot more interest in those human interest stories?
That's a hard question, Lauren. I think every time I do an interview, you know, if it doesn't seem to be something that's going to be really interesting, I have to make it interesting. That's my job. And so I try to make it interesting for the viewer. But as far as me finding something interesting and the most interesting story, I think, I happened to be doing a story just a couple months ago of a local woman. She was battling cancer and she just went into remission. She is incredible. And her name is Tina. And she was talking about getting her vaccination, even though she was going through her chemo. And so in the process of that, interview with her and her husband, Terrence, she had mentioned that she has this really, really rare cancer, and it's about 1 in 1 million people have this type of cancer. And then towards the end of the interview, she said something, well, there's 3 of us here in West Michigan. And I said, wait, whoa, 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 whoa. I said, there's 3 of you. And she said, yeah, there's 3 of us. And we're all in close proximity to each other. So in my mind, I said, that is the story, or an addition to the story. And so I was able to bring these 3 together for the very first time and talk to them about their similarities and why this could possibly be happening here in West Michigan. And, there's no definitive answer. It's just, they call themselves the 3 unicorns. And I just found it was really fascinating to have one interview and then hear something that was so rare and then get another interview out of it that was hopefully going to help other people.
And the connection that you made there is huge. The fact that you could do that through TV and bring those people together, I'm sure they valued that quite a bit.
It was really just incredible to see the 3 of them meet for the first time. The story has gone on nationally, and I don't know how privy I am to say much more, but there's some national news that is looking to pick up information from the story. And so, that's, although it's a human interest story, making that change, helping people, that's really what it's all about.
Absolutely. And that's what you do in TV. And that's the best part about it, right? Is you get to connect people, you get to do all these positive things within the community. At the same time, also putting yourself in the public eye, you open yourself up for other opinions, for the public's opinion of you. TV and radio and being in the media can be very glamorous, but yet there's also that side of you got to be ready for whatever feedback comes your way. So I wanted to ask you, do you still regularly receive viewer feedback, and what does that feedback look like?
Yeah, we do. We receive viewer feedback every day, whether it's us individually on our social media pages, or, it's not hard to find our email addresses. And so people reach out that way, or they reach out to the station or our producers. And, like you said, it looks like it's super glamorous, and I'm so blessed. I have a wonderful job, but, people are like, when do you get your makeup done? And I say, whenever I roll out of bed and I walk into the bathroom, that's when I get my makeup done. And they're like, you don't have a makeup artist? And it's like, for special events, but we do our own makeup every day. And I think people don't realize that. But yeah, you have to, I've learned that you do have to a little bit have thick skin in this business. This is not a small market, nor is it New York City. It's not a number 1, but big enough to where people feel that they can say things. And oftentimes what viewers are saying, that's very nice, but there's always people that have opinions. And, I think that's part of the online bullying that has affected mental health so drastically, especially with adolescents and teens and children, that people can hide behind an avatar, and they don't need to really have their name out there, and they can kind of say whatever they want. And, being a mom, that's really, really scary to me. Being in this business for a long time, you know this as well as I do, that, it still does sting. It still does hurt when you get those comments, because even though people just see you as on TV, sometimes, like, we are real people and we have real feelings and real families at home. And what people post, my husband sees and my mom sees. And, so yeah, it can definitely sting. But I try to focus on the positive, and we do get mostly positive, thank goodness. But, every once in a while you do get, and I love, because Ginger Z, who is chief meteorologist of Good Morning America, she was here at WOOD TV a while back, and she has people commenting all the time on her looks and, how she is as a mom. And for the most part, it's all positive. But what she liked to say is, I don't pay attention to the trolls. And I just thought that was just such a fun little way to say, she goes, the trolls come out of their hiding every once in a while. And I got a chuckle out of that, because it's like she chose to take the high road and not really try to pay attention.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And there's always this pressure, I think, to maintain a particular image. I feel like the older that I've gotten and the more I do these types of things, the less I care in terms of, how I'm presenting myself. Because like you said, somebody may not know I was up till 3 a.m. with my 2-year-old last night. So this was the best I could do in terms of getting ready. But,
So
you are out
true.
there every day. Do you feel that kind of pressure, or are you just like, you know what, this is life?
Yeah, I think it's both. It's both. And I think the older I've gotten, and I'm not gonna say my age, but which I have been doing a little more lately because I'm kind of proud of that. But I think that it's a little of both. You wake up and we're all doing the best that we can. And I think that's the one commonality that we all have everywhere is that we're all doing the best that we can. We're all trying to be good people. And so like today, the hair was curled this morning, but then, those of us that have curly hair understand the rain and the humidity, they're
Yep.
not always our friend. But it's like when I look at myself and I'm doing a story, it is taking me this long to really think if I feel that I look terrible that day, it's not about me, it's about the story. And that's so, so important to keep reminding myself. It's like, oh gosh, why didn't, my producer tell me that hair was sticking out of the side of my head? It's like, it's okay though, because it's not about me. I am just the liaison between who I'm interviewing and the people who are watching to try to connect them and try to make meaningful content that's going to resonate with somebody and hopefully spread a message that's going to, help others. So I think we have to give ourselves a little bit of slack.
Yes. Oh, you gave me chills in saying that, and just saying it's not about me, it's about the story that I'm telling, and representing these people in the best way that you can. And one of the most moving stories I think that you've told is the story about your sister, and the documentary that you reported and produced, Dying to Be Thin, is incredible. And you talked a little bit about it in West Michigan Woman when you did your interview with us in 2015. And you told your sister's story, and you had said that she wanted to share her story when she got better, and sadly she passed in 2001. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. July 15th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think Kaylyn would have wanted to share most about her story? What message do you think was most important for her to tell?
I remember us standing in the bathroom at my parents' house, and I was getting ready to go somewhere, and I was curling my hair and doing things that like a 20-something-year-old girl does. And my sister was standing at her sink, and I remember her looking at me, and this really, it does kind of haunt me when I think about it. And she said to me, and I don't even think I've told my mom this before, but she looked at me and she said, someday I want to be pretty again too, and I want to get better, and I want to be able to help people. And so that really sticks with me and resonates with me. I've made it my mission to be able to spread awareness and talk not only about my experience and my family's experience, but what I feel like people are missing and what, I was for a long time inundated with messages on my Facebook page of people just saying, my daughter has this issue. I think my cousin is going through this. And what can I do? Who can I talk to? I'm seeing these warning signs. Is this something that I should be worrying about? And I still, to this day, I did the documentary years and years ago. I want to say 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still getting messages from people. And I think that what Kailyns would have wanted people to know is that she looks like she had it all together. Track scholarship, cheerleader, straight A student, dancer. She had it all together, and she looked like she did. But I think that when she realized that she had a problem, the mental health side of it had gone so far out of control for so long. I don't think she realized that she was spiraling so fast that she couldn't come back. I think that she believed that she always had control over her issue, when in fact she didn't. And I think that's really what I want people to know is if they're starting down this path that could be possibly destructive, really take a pause and think about that. And if you need help or you think you possibly could need help, then you probably do. Because
Mhm.
once your family and your friends realize that there's an issue and a problem, even if you're a close-knit family like my family was and is, um, we noticed years after this had been going on. And I think that's what she would want people to know. And that's what I want people to know, is that it spirals so quickly. And, if you see something, say something. And I did see something and I didn't say something, and that sticks with me. So that would
Mhm.
be my message to people too.
And you say that your family noticed too late that she was struggling with an eating disorder. Do you think you
Mhm.
could have known earlier to step in and say something? Or I mean, like, when do you think you should have recognized there was a problem? And could you have even recognized it?
Lauren, that's the $1 million question. I've
Right.
come so far from where I was. She passed 20 years ago, but I really have to consciously try to not put myself in that situation. And it took
Sure.
over a decade, way more
Right.
than a decade for me to do, because I did know, I thought that there was something wrong. Just from us going out to eat, and then, trips to the restroom that she would do. And I never went in and I never followed her. I never asked her, as close as we were, because I was afraid that it would divide us.
Mhm.
And for a long time, I thought, if I would have said something, if I would have told her that I was concerned, if I would have, if I would have, could I have
Mhm.
saved her? The answer is probably yes. But we just didn't know. We didn't know
Right.
then. And I don't think we knew then what we know now about mental health and about eating disorders and the warning signs. And, we just didn't know. But it does, it sticks with me every single day. So I wish
And
I would have said something.
I imagine there's got to be a sense too, with that type of struggle, and then with what other families deal with as well, different types of struggles. You think, not my family, that those
Hmm.
things don't happen to us. That's not going to happen. So it's almost unfathomable where things can
Absolutely.
go. So, like you said, it is difficult to look back. Now, since Dying to Be Thin aired, have you seen improvements in the way that mental health issues are approached by the general public? Or do
I
we
might
still
get flack
have
for this. I might get flack for this. I'm going to be completely open here and honest. In my opinion, I think that we have come a long way in recognizing that there are mental health issues, and we are trying to talk about it. I think there are so many different types of mental health illnesses.
Sure.
Eating disorders is not top on the list, unfortunately. It's not one of the top on the list. There are depression and so many other mental health issues. I think we're still so far from believing that eating disorders can kill very quickly.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and you know, I think that we could do better.
Mhm. And a lot of
And
it's
so
going
I'm
to
trying to do that.
yeah, and a lot of it's going to start with us as parents. And how we talk to our kids and our daughters in particular. I know you have a daughter. My daughter's almost 2. And even just knowing that I was going to have a daughter, very excited, but also nervous in what she's going to face growing up and the various types of pressures or the things that she may go through. How has your experiences and now all of the research and things that you've done around eating disorders, how has this affected the way that you parent or will affect it?
I think it affects it in a positive way and also maybe not so positive way. I'm very cognizant of
Okay.
everything with her, especially when it comes to what she says about herself, what she hears about other people when they talk about themselves. I never say anything negative about the way I look
Mhm.
in front of her when she's around. I'm very cognizant of that because kids are such sponges And when their moms are talking bad about themselves, or they hear other adults talking bad about the way they look, they think that that is okay. That's telling your children that that is okay to speak to yourself that way, to think badly about yourself. And my mom said, and she said this time and time again, our looks are such a small part of who we are. And I think that we need to instill that into our children.
Yeah.
I do say a lot of times, I say, oh, Brooklyn, you're so beautiful. Like, we always say that to our kids. You look so precious today. And I have to remind myself, stop saying about your looks, even if it's positive. And so I'll always follow it up with, but I love you the most because you're so smart and you're such a good little girl and you're such a kind person. I want that to be the lasting impression, not what she hears about her looks. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And that is so hard to do with little girls. I just had that conversation with another friend where we realized the first thing that we say to little girls is, you're so pretty. You look so cute today. All of these things. And I've just started doing some affirmations with my daughter where, I have her say, I am important and I am valued and all of these things, because and a lot of it is to get myself out of that mindset of just telling her that she looks so cute, that there are so many other facets to her. She needs to recognize it. I need to recognize it. And we need to put that out there.
I'm so glad that you do that. It's important.
She just started talking, so we're working.
Oh, very cute.
Well, let's talk about your family a little bit. You have such a beautiful family. Your husband Curtis and your daughter Brooklyn. I'm curious to know, what is the love story behind you and Curtis?
Oh my goodness, I am so blessed, Lauren, and you're smiling because you know this story. And so when we did the Face of 4 competition, the community got to vote, but ultimately there's a team here at WOOD TV that also is on that deciding panel. And I remember walking in, and there was someone who's actually my boss now, and her name is Kailyns Message. And then there was this guy there who was the director of marketing at the time, and his name is Curtis Keckley. And after I got the year contract for the Face of 4, this Curtis Keckley person was my boss. And I was sitting at my desk one day and I got this message on Facebook, and it was from a gentleman. I mean, Keckley, that is a very different, unique name. Not many people have that name.
Right.
And so I got a message from someone I had known for so long, and it said, "Great job, kid. I'm really proud of you." And I looked at the last name. I hadn't talked to this person in so long. And I looked at the last name and I thought, his last name is Keckley. Like, that's my boss's last name. And so I knocked on his door and I said, "Excuse me." I said, "Do you happen to know a Tom Keckley?" I said, "Because you guys have the same last name, and I've known this Tom person for a really long time, like 15 years. He goes, "Yep, that's my dad." And I said, "That's your dad?" And so it was such proof that, everyone in Grand Rapids and West Michigan kind of knows each other, I would think, or knows someone who knows someone. And so, the rest was history. We became really, really good friends. His mom and dad, I had known for so long. They were actually on the committee of Miss Greater Grand Rapids when I was Miss Greater Grand Rapids, and they helped train me to go to Miss Michigan many years ago when I was in college. And so Curtis had a band. He said to me, "I heard you're a singer." And I said, "I am. I don't know where you heard that." Well, it was his parents. Long story short, joined the band, and we were spending a lot of time together. And I saw how he was with his employees. And that's really what sparked my interest, is because he was not my boss at this time. But he was just so kind and so compassionate to his employees. And I thought, that's not something that can be taught. That's just who you are as a person. And that's the type of person I want to be around. And so, so the rest is history. We have an amazing little girl.
You do. Yes. And I told you, I mean, Curtis is a phenomenal guy. I loved working with him during the Face of 4. The experience, I think, was really what it was because of him. It was just so fun and a great way to connect with the community, and he really facilitated all of that. So I do love the fact that I was there when you guys met, and then later on, years later, when I saw that you guys were getting married and now you have this family. I mean, what a cool story that is. That's just,
thank you. We announced it on Facebook from the Eiffel Tower. I mean, we
yes.
I know, it's bananas.
So now that you are a mom and married and still doing what you do, what does your typical day look like? I think people just want to know, like, how does Jordan work throughout the day? What happens?
That's one thing I love about my job is I'm not someone who can sit at a desk all day long. My days are always different. I'm always, running from this shoot to this thing and this thing, and I love that. I love the craziness of my days. I never have 2 days that are alike. So I start off in the morning and kiss my little family goodbye, and I'm out the door. And first thing I do is get ready for 8 West, and we prep all of our note cards the night before, and we are studying on all of our interviews prior to the day that we're actually doing the interviews. And then we're here at 8:30, 9 o'clock. And Terry has been here for hours and hours prior to that because she obviously is on Storm Team 8. But yeah, we walk into the studio, we greet our guests, we sit down and talk to them, and we film. And everything is taped as live. I think a lot of people think that we are actually live, but we film it as live. So 9 o'clock till 10 is when we film, and then it plays back from 11 to 12. And then after that, I usually go up to my desk. I do some social media. I write for our website as well. So any human interest stories as far as Live Local, Give Local, I'm writing all those. I'm getting ready for any commercial shoots that I have with Live Local, Give Local partners, and writing their scripts and producing out their content as far as segments and commercials. I love the creative side of things. So being able to do that, and then I'm off and I am on a shoot, and then I stop and have lunch real quick. Sometimes I'm able to rush home and make my rice and chicken and a salad maybe, let the dog out, and then I'm back at the station and writing or doing more stories, interviewing people, and then I leave and I go pick up my little pumpkin. She goes to school year round. She'll be in kindergarten in the fall, and so she's doing outdoor school right now, and so I pick her up, and she has her ponytail out, mud from head to toe, dirt. And I look at her and I say, you know what? Today was a good day, wasn't it? And she says, oh, yeah. Because I'm like, this is not what you look like when I sent you to school. And I would rather have you come back a complete mess and disaster and say you had a great day and you learned and you had fun with your friends than to come back and look polished and say you didn't really do a whole lot. So that's kind of my day.
Yes.
Then dinner and the whole thing like everybody else does.
Absolutely. Try to get them to bed, maybe try to catch up on a show. I don't know. That's very rare, but
we don't get to watch very much of our own shows. It's really, I mean, a lot of Sophia the First. Yeah.
Yes. So. Yeah. We've got a lot of Blaze and Paw Patrol happening in our household. That's pretty much what it is.
We did the Paw Patrol thing. Yeah.
Yep. It's a thing.
So fun.
It's a big thing, and now the movie's coming out, so we're all doomed.
Oh, I know. We just went to Spirit the movie because she's majorly into horses. She does riding lessons every weekend, and so it's all about horses. We've got horses everywhere. So
okay,
get ready for that phase.
I know, it's all coming. So, what's coming for you? What's next for Jordan?
Personal or career?
Whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm always excited for what's next. And, I love being here at WOOD TV, and I love doing little things on the side, and, I'm seeing things, and I've got a couple of things that are in the works that are happening. And I will be able to talk more about that in a couple months, probably.
Okay.
But
come back and tell us.
Nothing like that. I'm staying here, but just some exciting personal things I get to do.
Good, good. Well, we're happy to hear that you are staying with us. And I mean, you are such a huge part of the community and such an amazing
Oh,
role model and voice for West Michigan. So I could not be happier that I know you from way back when, and B, that you are still doing what you do best and are so flawless and beautiful in everything that you do. So
thank you so much. It's so fun to talk to you. Like, I'm so excited. When you asked me to do this, I was like, how long did it take me to respond? I was like, yes, yes, yes. Like,
I
how
know.
fun.
And next week we're going to do cocktails on a patio somewhere and keep chatting more. So
I
I know.
love that.
I know.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Absolutely. Well, and the good news is we've got the Brilliance Awards coming up for West Michigan Woman, and you are hosting them on August 31st at the JW Marriott. So I just wanted to put that out there because we do still have tickets available at westmichiganwoman.com. That is going to be a brilliant event. The Brilliance Awards will be brilliant. You will be brilliant as the host. It's going to be a great night.
Well,
So
thank you so much. I'm so excited. And I actually, before this interview, I just posted a story on our website about the Brilliance Awards and a little commercial that I did promoting it. And so you can find that there too.
awesome. Well, thank you. And we will see
Yeah.
you soon. To everybody watching, thank you. And until next time, this is Beyond the Fold.